Good morning. This morning I'm talking about searching for the form or big arm drawings, which is an interesting concept. It's a little bit of a different way of drawing, but it's actually been used for many, many centuries by artists. If you look at Da Vinci's work, you just study this arm, what you will see is that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 lines in that section. And the reason being is that he searched for the form. He didn't just do one line and decided that that's going to be the arm. He actually was searching for the form. And in the process of searching for the form, the line that was the most representative of that form was the line that he made slightly darker. And that's what searching for the form is all about. It's a way of teaching that enables you to almost go on a little bit of a creative exploration. I always say, you need to become a creative explorer. And with drawing, it's very true as well. You can't just do one line and hope that it's the best line. Maybe it is. Maybe you're that good. But I've found that the fact that I can search for the form really helps me. Because if I make a mistake, there's almost not there can be a mistake, but I mean, you can search for the form and never get to it. But usually if you use this technique, some of the lines that you do will start representing the form that you're after, and those are the lines that you make darker. So for instance, I'm just going to bring the Da Vinci a little bit closer. I hope you can see it. Oh, it's difficult with this today, with this little machine that I use. I need to upgrade my little machine, but you can see all those lines there. I hope you can see it well. All the lines there on the edge of the arm. Okay, so say you wanted to draw a circle, and circles are notorious for being quite difficult. And I just try to do a perfect circle with one line. After about 30 years of drawing, it's still quite difficult, and I still don't get it perfect. It's sort of there. It's not too bad, but let me show you the other option. The other option is this one. You need to be perfect, but I'm not perfect, so I like to search for the form. This is called big arm drawings. So my whole arm is moving in a circle. My lower arm is moving in a circle, and my wrist and my hand is also moving in a circle, a circular motion. So what's going to happen is it's extended to my pencil, obviously, if everything is doing a circle. But then my pencil, if I put it down on paper, is going to start doing a circle as well. So I can go over and over and over, make as many lines as I want to. Usually it's about between 7 and 20 lines. So there's a circle starting to appear a little bit. I'm going to use a slightly darker pencil. That was a 2B, so that you can just see it a little bit clearer. So let's go for this is a 7. It's just so that you can now see that I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to select the lines on the circle that I find to represent the circle the best. For me, it's these lines. Our hands are made absolutely beautifully. This is just one technique. It's almost like an old-fashioned type of mathematical, I think it's a compass, where you can use that and place it there and extend a little arm, and you can make a perfect circle. Well, our hands can maybe not make it perfect, but this is a nice way of also getting to a circle. If I keep turning the page, of course, I'm going to get to a circle as well. But right now, I'm just going to use it as a technique. My hand is stable. My fingers are moving. Wrist is moving very minimally. More my fingers. And I keep turning the page. I'm doing the same thing over and over, because this is my natural. I'm strong in this side. If I try to do it on that side, it's going to not work so well. But for some reason, I'm quite strong to do it to this side, this sort of motion. So there's a quarter of a circle, or a small piece of a circle already. Turning the page constantly, I would be able to enhance that until I'm almost at a circle, but I rather want to focus on this one. So I'm still selecting my lines, And to me, okay, now there's a circle there. This circle is looking a lot better than this circle, which was my perfect, trying to be perfect one line circle. So this drawing with a whole arm, searching for the form process, is really a wonderful way of drawing because it enables you to make mistakes, to correct your mistakes, to go on a journey, become a creative explorer, and to go through this sort of creative selection process and learning about the form, because you are selecting which lines are the best lines and you're darkening those lines. And you can also now go in there with your pencil eraser and just take away whatever you feel is not representative of a good circle. I can see I need to come out a little bit over there. And just take that edge away, go back to that specific position, enhance a few of those lines. Don't ever start too dark. I'm going a bit darker today because I want you people to be able to see what I'm doing. But start with a B or a 2B, then a 4B, and build it up towards your darker. Your dark 6, 7, 8, 9B, that's for shading. You know, don't... You can shade with a 2B pencil as well, but if you want to go darker, your darker tones, you'll use 5B to 9B. Okay, so there's a kind of good looking circle. I'm not happy. I'm not too unhappy about it. I think it's quite good. But now there's another way to enhance this. So firstly, you searched for form. Remember, using your whole arm. Your whole arm is moving, your lower arm is moving, your wrist is moving, and your pencil becomes an extension of your hand. This takes practice, so just keep practicing it. And when you do basic shapes, this is going to be the way to do all basic shapes, whether it's an ellipse, searching for the form there, carrying on, searching, make enough lines so that I can select the one that's working. Whether it's an oval, there's many different ways to draw an oval, we'll still get there, but this today is circle and how to draw a circle quickly. Okay, so now I can enhance this. A perfect circle fits into a perfect square. So you can use a ruler for this. You can now put your perfect circle into a perfect block or square. And what's going to happen then is you're going to start seeing negative spaces. And the negative spaces around and in between the positive form, which is in this case is the circle, any shape that you start blocking in, you'll see the negative spaces, the spaces between and around the positive form. Whether it's a figure or a finger or a shape like this, your negative spaces will teach you and help you to see the positive form better. So if I quickly shade this darker, all of a sudden I've got a way of seeing if my circle is good. So I can now work on the circle more and more until I get these 4. I call them arrow points because to me they look a little bit like arrow points. They must be exactly the same size. Then I know my circle is absolutely perfect. Another thing to do would be to just get the middle of that and the middle of this. And then these 4 quadrants will also have to be exactly the same size. Then I know my circle is fine. Okay, so this is drawing with your whole arm, searching for the form, and then getting to a shape quite easily because you were searching for the form and not trying to be perfect. So in the case of something like this apple, if you had to draw this apple, you would firstly start with a circle. Then you would start correcting some of the edges because in the beginning the basic shape here is definitely a circle, but you can't just stay there. You have to start tweaking it a little bit. So I'm going to quickly demo that. Today's going to be a short lesson. So if I do this one, I'll start with a circle as my basic shape, searching for the form until I've got a circle there. Because it's only the basic shape of that apple, once I've got the basics of the circle there, and I want to go towards a specific thing or object like that apple, there's my basic shape. Now I need to start tweaking it so that it starts looking like that. So what I can do is I can now, little by little, just change the circle a little bit, get all those little bumps in the road that makes the apple. So I'm tweaking my circle to get to a to that apple. So it's a circle changing, little by little, changing into an apple. That's how I would do that. And then the other thing that's now wonderful to use is your negative space. Because my apple is still, it's okay, but it's not that apple yet. Or this apple. So what I can do now is I measure, do your measurements. I'm not even going to do that right now. You can do it. So you have to measure. Put your apple into that square. Once your apple is into the square, blocked into the square, you can start looking at those beautiful negative spaces. Because those negative spaces are going to help you. If you now draw that negative space and this negative space and this one and that one, it goes without saying that the apple will become what it's supposed to be, that apple. And not a generic apple, but that apple. So now I can really closely start looking, what is that negative space looking like? What is really there? Use your ruler to draw that block, please. Don't try to just be brave now. For that stuff, you can just measure. You don't need to be brave there. Just measure and get it right and work from there. So I'm just coloring in this negative space that you can see. That negative space is supposed to be this negative space. Now let's see this one. See, all these tiny little negative spaces now is going to help my eye to see clearly what the positive form is like. Because a perfect negative space will create a perfect positive form. Okay, so this is what this one looks like. Okay, you should be able to see it now. And now this side, let's see that one. There's a tiny little negative space up there. Go for it, put it in. Some slight variations and curves. Right hand side of the brain can see all of these minute little changes in a line or an edge. So use it all. Use everything you can. If you look at negative space, that's a right hand side of the brain sort of activity. And the right hand side of your brain can see things in a totally different way than the left hand side. You're supposed to use both, but it's good to train the right hand side of the brain. It looks at things differently, sees small little changes in objects and lines and edges. So it really does help you to draw better. See, there's my apple taking shape now. The thing is becoming the thing. Okay, I'm almost done with this lesson because today was really just about teaching you how to quickly draw anything, the basic shape of anything by searching for the form. Okay, if I color that in quickly so that you can see that better. These minute little changes is going to create a good looking apple. And that's how closely you should look when you draw something like that, because otherwise you're just drawing any apple, but you want to draw that apple. So there we go. So today's lesson is all about basic shape. Yeah, it's true, but searching for the form to get to basic shape. Searching for the form to get to basic shape. And drawing with your whole arm. With your whole arm. It's fun. Learn to do it. It's really fun. Not fun. Drawing with your whole arm is fun. Thank you. I hope this helps.